Hey guys, welcome to Guilford County's EMS Rider Observer program. My name is Ashley Dunn and I am the Quality Compliance Specialist here with Guilford County EMS. Part of my job includes me coordinating your Rider Observer sessions, and so today I want to give you guys a brief orientation about our program, provide you guys with some guidelines that we would like for you to follow, as well as some helpful tips to make your observations successful. So we're not going to take up too much of your time today, but let's jump right into what to expect. This is a question I often get when people are interested in doing observations. What can I expect? Can I expect to see what I see on TV, or is it drastically different? The truth is that Guilford County EMS stands for Emergency Medical Services, meaning that we respond to all 911 calls here in Guilford County. So there really is not an expectation really set, because we can respond to any and everything. You are put on a real ambulance with a real crew responding to real calls. There isn't a filter that exists, so when you guys are on that unit and that truck gets that call, you guys see exactly what our guys see, and you're right in the middle, right in the mix. So we're responsible, guys, for about 658 square miles. That's about 530,000 people that reside here in Guilford County. If any of those people were to call 911, it's our responsibility to provide the pre-hospital medical care. So we responded to about 84,000 calls back in 2018, and we've been right on track in 2019 and 2020. We're a very, very busy service, and sometimes our days are jam-packed with calls. Other days we do have a little bit of downtime in between. So who was working on the ambulance? Who are you going to be paired with? Some people have no idea what the people on the ambulance are called. They call us ambulance drivers. Some people think that we're nurses. And the truth is that we are emergency medical technicians. We have three credentialed levels that work on, three credentialed providers that work on our units. And they start with emergency medical technician as an entry-level provider. Advanced EMT has a little bit more training and can do a few more skills. Your paramedic is your highest trained person in the pre-hospital setting that can provide medical care. So on the crew that you're going to be paired with, you will be with at least one paramedic, and the second person on that unit can either be a paramedic, an AEMT, or an EMT. Now that we've talked about who you're going to be paired with, let's talk about while you observe and what we've kind of asked for you guys to do. First, we want you guys to please arrive on time. When I send your schedule out, you will have a arrival time, which may be different from the unit start time. Normally, it's about 15 to 30 minutes from that arrival time and that start time. It's to give you guys a chance to come in, meet with your crew, talk with your team, kind of discuss the plan for the day, as well as to bring all of your belongings from your vehicle. So please arrive on time. If you do arrive late, we will have to cancel your shift for that day, and you can call me and reschedule. Again, our units will not be delayed responding to calls or leaving the base if you are not on time. So please stay within close contact with your paramedic or your EMS crew throughout your shift. Your paramedic and EMTs or your crews will, if you notice, have the portable radios on their belt loop. That portable radio is their direct contact to information from our dispatch center. So all of our calls, all of our standby requests, and really all of our safety information is relayed through that radio. So if you're not in close contact with them, then you won't be able to also receive that information and know when it is time to respond to a call. We have to be in our trucks and out of the bay and out responding to a call within at least 2 minutes. So the closer you stay with your crew, the better it is for your observations throughout the day. Now, that doesn't mean go into the bathroom with them and following them to the bathroom, but just stay in close contact or communication. If you need to exchange phone numbers to text, if you need to leave, step outside for a phone call or anything, that's perfectly fine. But just stay in close contact and communication. When you come in for your shift, we're going to ask for you to ask for a Rider Observer traffic vest. All your preceptors will have one at each base, and if you don't have one for the day, your preceptor can get one for you. These vests are to be worn only when you're entering into roadways or hazardous situations where you need to be seen. You don't have to wear this vest all day long throughout your observation unless it's needed. So please ask for your vest. Again, your vest is only really needed when you see your paramedic crew donning the same equipment. Before you come in for your observation, we're asking for you to pack some snacks and pack your lunch. As you can see in the previous slide, we are a very busy service. We do not get to go out of service to eat lunch. You don't get to go out of service to do any kind of documentation. There is no guaranteed downtime when you're with us. So that also means that you may not be guaranteed to stop by a fast food restaurant or stop by a grocery store to pick up anything. So please bring all lunch or snacks that you may need throughout the day. We want to make sure you stay well hydrated and well nourished while you're with us. When you come in for your observation in the morning, please bring all important belongings from your vehicle onto the unit when you come. Things such as laptops, mobile devices, medications, things that you need throughout the day. Because our units respond all over the county and we don't necessarily return back to our base when we complete a call. So you could start your day in the east side of Greensboro and by lunchtime you could be in High Point. There's a very good chance when you leave the base in the morning that you will not see that same base again until it's time for you to go home. So we want to make sure that you have everything that you need for that day because we are unable to go out of service to return to that base to get your belongings if needed. To keep us compliant with HIPAA, we're asking you to please do not take any pictures, no videos, recordings. This includes Snapchat stories, Instagram stories, tweeting anything. Make sure that you do not take any recordings of identifiable patient information. This is a violation of HIPAA, and you could be held liable in both civil and criminal charges if you are found to be in violation. If one of our crews witnesses you do this and perform this, such as taking videos, taking pictures of calls or patients, that is an immediate observation termination. So again, a violation of this HIPAA policy will end in the termination of your observation immediately, and you will be asked to return home and cancel your shift for the day. So COVID-19. Oh my, how we love COVID-19 and will not miss it once it leaves, if it ever does. But COVID-19 came in the beginning of 2020 and made us change everything that we did, everything we do operationally, including PPE requirements. So we do have a few guidelines, then changes that we made for our crews, which we in turn are passing on to our observers while you're with us. While you're with us within the unit or within 6 feet of other personnel, including inside the bases, we're going to ask for you to wear a surgical mask. All of your crew members will have a surgical mask on, so you too please have a surgical mask. We're going to ask for you to follow the precautions of your paramedic. So if you see your paramedic donning additional PPE or donning any PPE, we're going to ask for you to follow suit. That paramedic may know something that you don't. Either way, we want to make sure that you are protected. While you're with us, we are asking you to bring your own N95. If you do not have your own N95 with you when you come in for your observation, you will not be able to observe for the day. Guilford County EMS is not able to provide you with an N95 because we have not properly fitted you in accordance to OSHA regulations. So please bring your N95. But if you need any other PPE, feel free to ask your crew because we can provide you guys with any gowns, surgical masks, gloves, face shields. If you need any of that non-fitted PPE while you're with us, feel free to take and to use. Again, if you see your paramedic donning gowns, surgical masks, gloves, face shields, you too, please do that. We don't want you taking home anything that you did not bring into the observation. Okay? Strongly encouraged to bring safety glasses. If you don't have that face shield, to bring safety glasses to protect your eyes while you're with us observing as well. So we're asking you to don your N95. So the hospital's policy is very different from our policy. If you choose to wear your N95 all day, please feel free to do so. However, if you are with us and you are donning the surgical mask, there are specific times we're asking you to wear your N95. So we're asking you if you have a confirmed COVID-19 positive patient, of course, it's obvious, wear your N95. While you're with that patient, we're going to ask for you to transport that patient while transport is happening to ride up front in the driver's area. We want to limit the number of personnel, have an extended exposure time to that patient. So you will notice when you respond to these scenes, your firefighters, law enforcement, and other EMS personnel may be standing outside from the COVID-19 positive patient's home just to limit the number of people that have that direct contact. So Please don't be alarmed if that happens. And if we do have a COVID positive patient, ride up front to the hospital with the driver. On all cardiac arrest calls, please wear your N95, of course. Wear your safety goggles or your eye protection. Anytime that we're nebulizing a medication, such as albuterol, Atrovent, those are on our respiratory distress calls. We're going to ask for you to also wear your N95 because those droplets are being created. And again, pretty much anytime you see your paramedic put on their N95, you just put yours on too, just to be safe. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or contact your crew while you're with them, and we will definitely answer the questions if you have any questions about when to wear your N95. So the question is, if you have a COVID-19 exposure, how will you know who will be in contact with you? So if you have a confirmed COVID-19 exposure that you're not aware of, and maybe you didn't have the most appropriate PPE on, I will contact you by email and by phone just to let you know and to give you additional guidance on how to proceed after that exposure has occurred. So again, your crew members are not going to be responsible to contact you to let you know because they will not know until I contact them too. So I will be contacting you if you have a confirmed COVID-19 exposure that you were not aware of and you were not wearing appropriate PPE and there's a chance that you could have contracted COVID-19. I'm going to be contacting you guys directly. Feel free anytime to contact me, to call me or email me, and if you have a concern about the COVID-19 exposure. So your safety is our priority. In the event of an unsafe scene, you may be assigned as an observer to a specific location, meaning that if there is an active scene, maybe there's an active shooter, or maybe there is an accident, like in this picture that is off the roadway, and it's unsafe for you to dive into the accident scene with us. We're going to ask you to either stay at the unit or assign a specific location for you to go. In the event that there is a mass casualty incident, maybe like an airport crash, an airplane crash. If you have an airplane crash or maybe, like I said, an active shooter where we have multiple patients, that there is a possibility that we can assign you to an EMS admin, EMS supervisor, or law enforcement officer to return you back to your vehicle during that event. Because at that point, we will need all space, as much space as possible to transport as many people as possible, depending on the level of the MCI. So don't be alarmed, don't be offended if this happens and we're asking you to return to your vehicle and then return for another day for an observation. But that, again, because we need as much space as possible to transport as many patients as possible. This is based on your paramedic, so if your paramedic feels like it's okay for you to ride in, they can have you stay. But I just want to let you guys be aware that this is a possibility. And again, your safety is our priority. We do not want to, again, allow you to go home in any different condition than what you came in to see us with. With that being said, again, we are responding to real life calls, real life emergencies, and we do not have that filter. If there is any call that you hear come out that you are not comfortable going into that scene, meaning that they were responding to a possible dead body, or we're responding to a traumatic event that the patient may be in a mangled state, anything that you do not feel comfortable with, even something that may resonate with you, that may evoke emotional responses that you don't feel comfortable with having, feel free to let your paramedic know. I'm going to stay here in the unit. I'll see you guys when you get back. I'm fine with not seeing it. It's perfectly fine. Also, if you see something while you're observing with us, we are able to allow you to talk to our peer support team. Anything that doesn't sit well with you, you get home and it's something, you have questions about something, please contact me. And I can get you in contact with our peer support team. I am on the peer support team as well, so I can answer those questions that you may have and help you work through some of the things that you may have seen on calls. So we don't want you guys to come home in any different state than when you left, but there is a potential to see some very traumatic and very sad situations that may affect you. And if you are ever interested, some people come in and they want to schedule a second observation. You guys are more than welcome to come and schedule another observation with me, and you guys can ride with our providers in your own spare time. So if you want to schedule another observation, feel free to contact me, phone or by email, and your paperwork is good on file for 1 year. If you contact after that year, then we will have to have you fill out paperwork again. But after that, for this year, you guys are good to come back and observe with us at any time. If you have day of schedule changes you need to cancel, please contact the on-duty shift commander, which is the number listed here. The reason why we're doing this, you guys are put into our scheduling system for accountability. If there was a chance of an MCI, we want to make sure that we have names and we know who is on these units. If you are not coming in that day, we want to make sure that that change is made to our schedule so that the time is not spent looking for you if you are truly not here. If you need to reschedule, feel free to call me, and then my number and email is listed here. If you need to reschedule before the day of, feel free to contact me and I can get you guys rearranged. Any questions or any issues while you're going through your observation or before your observation, feel free to call or email me as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed this presentation, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.